What's up, everybody? This is David Cutter here. This is going to be my horror haul for April, May, and June. I was gone for a while out of town. I was up in Wisconsin. Um, I was still collecting, just wasn't able to record. So let's get started with the haul. Got quite a few things here. First up is the DVDs. I got the Taking of Deborah Logan. Very well done, found footage horror film. Um, Thought the woman in this movie was creepy as hell. Uh, There was not too much CGI, not no cheap jump scares. It's really what I enjoyed about the film. There's basically about these people. They're doing a documentary on this woman that they believe has Alzheimer's disease, and just like a lot of weird occurrences going on in the house. They're like filming everything, and just goes downhill from there. Man, it's just a pretty crazy movie. Pretty scary to me. It's I've seen this on Netflix. That's how I found out about the movie. I'd heard a lot about it. But yeah, this is taking a Deborah Logan. I got it used. Pretty good price for it too. And yeah, this is a great found footage horror film, man. Taking a Deborah Logan. Check it out on Netflix if you have Netflix, man. Next up, this movie was recommended by another YouTuber by the name of Spalding069, aka Vance. And that is a old school demon film called The Power. It was pretty enjoyable. When you first look at the cover, you might think that it's another kind of film, but it's not what you think, man. It's a pretty dark film. Um, this was made in 1984. This is a Scorpion releasing. If you're into demon films, I would recommend it. It's not like Night of the Demons or Demons, but I enjoyed this film. That is The Power. Next up is a over the top werewolf film. That is Wolf Cop. It was silly at times. Kind of had some comedy elements to it, but I thought the transformations were pretty cool and had some decent kills in there. I believe they're gonna make a sequel. I may or may not get it just on the fact that it's a werewolf movie. It's one of my favorite subgenres, werewolf movies. But yeah, this is Wolf Cop. Next up, been trying to get into the classic horror movies now, like the black and white films. Basically, grew up on the horror films from the '80s and the '90s. But this is my first pickups of as far as classic horror movie goes, black and white films, and that is the Dracula: The Complete Legacy Collection. It's got 6 films in it. It's a 4 disc set. Got it over at Walmart. And this one has Dracula, Dracula's Daughter, Son of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Can't wait to check these films out, man. Um, I want to get the Wolfman Legacy Collection. They didn't have it there at the time. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good deal, though, man. This is Dracula, the Complete Legacy Collection. You can find these Universal Legacy Collections at Walmart right now if you go. Next up, got some bargain deals off of my cousin. These next 3 are Scream Factory titles. Got it for cheap. I got The Swamp Thing. Don't know much about this film. I just know that Adrian Barbeau comes out in it. Yeah, he basically sold me these films out of his combo packs. But that's cool. I still got the movie, even though it's just a DVD. Next up, I got John Carpenter's Body Bags. Great anthology film. Got a lot of special cameos in there from Wes Craven, Sam Raimi, John Carpenter, and Tom Arnold has cameos in it. My favorite segments are the gas station segment and the hair segment. This was a Showtime original. I remember watching this back in the days on cable TV. But this is Body Bags. Great anthology film. Next up was a movie I had never really seen before but heard about. And that is The Burning. Great campy slasher from the 80s, man. High body count in the film as far as kills go. I believe Tom Savini did some work on this film, which is pretty cool. Highly enjoyable campy slasher from the 80s. Cropsey definitely did this thing in this movie. That's The Burning. I can't recommend this next movie, man. It was just too damn boring for me. And that is The Battery. Unless you need a cure for insomnia, I would say watch this movie. It's supposed to be a zombie film, like a post-apocalyptic zombie film, I guess. Uh, Thought it could have been better. There could have been some more kills in it. I don't know. For me, it was just too boring. That is The Battery. Pretty boring flick, man. If you want to be bored, watch this film. That is The Battery. That was it for my DVDs. Got a couple of bargains in there, as you could see. Pretty good pickups, though. Next up, we have the Blu-rays. We got the Grindhouse releasing for the Beyond 3-disc deluxe edition. Comes with the soundtrack. Comes with a CD. Glow in the dark slipcover. Badass edition to have. This is Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. Next up, we got the Arrow video release of Society. Great digipack. Love the packaging for this film. This is directed by Brian Usna. This was his directorial debut. Yeah, this is badass packaging, like I said. Pretty weird movie. So that's Society. I believe this one's limited to 3,000 copies. First Arrow video release, man. Finally got an Arrow video release. But that's Society. His next few films, I got them at this independent record store in Wisconsin. It's called The Exclusive Company. They got a lot of classic horror films like The Power and all these other films I'm about to show. You wouldn't find them in Best Buy or Walmart or just basically anywhere else, you know. As far as I know, they sell them at Fry's, but they don't like update the titles. They just got like a few titles there. Like they don't put out the new releases there or anything. You won't find any Synapse. You won't find any Vinegar Syndrome there as well. So yeah, that was a pretty cool record store. I recommend that store if you're in the Wisconsin area. Hit up the Exclusive Company, man. You'll find some old school films there. You could always shop online, but I don't know. I'm not really too much on shopping online. I know you could get everything at your fingertips, but I don't know, man. I'm into going out and finding my films. To me, it takes the fun out of it when you just order online, and sometimes it could be a pain in the ass too, man. If you get you get a bad deal online from the company or whatever. But anyway, let's get on with the pickups. Got a Sleepaway Camp, great slasher from the '80s. Finally got it in my collection. The One of the most over the top endings ever. Didn't see that coming. Highly enjoyed it, and I still need to get Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. Yeah, the Sleepaway Camp. Next up, we got the collector's edition for Pumpkinhead. It was an upgrade. The one I had, it was just a bare bones DVD. This one's got Lance Henriksen in it. I thought this was the best Pumpkinhead out of all the movies. I think like he looked the scariest in this film. Pumpkinhead did. But yeah, it's a great film. This is Pumpkinhead. Next up was A Blind Buy. This is a Killer Dolls movie, directed by Stuart Gordon. Believe Brian Usna did some work on this as well. It's a pretty cool Killer Doll film, man. It was nothing like Puppet Master in my opinion, but I highly enjoyed it. It was a Blind Buy. I believe this one was put out in 1986. But yeah, that's Dolls. I really like the cover art for this one. Next up was a bargain buy from my cousin. Got it for like $6, I believe. That is John Carpenter's The Fog. This is the collector's edition. Everybody knows about this film, man. Great movie. You got Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Atkins, Adrian Barbeau, and then you got this guy right here. I forgot his name, but I know most of these three people came out in the Creepshow movie, the first one, and I thought that was pretty cool because I love Creepshow. It's got a lot of special features. Never seen the remake. I don't intend on buying the remake. I've heard it sucks, but I'm happy I finally got this one. I guess obviously this is a rare edition too, just because I believe they don't make slipcovers anymore for this one. That's The Fog. So yeah, this is The Fog. Next up, I got Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. Wasn't as good as the first Pumpkinhead movie, but it was cool to see Linnea Quigley and Kane Hodder up in the film. I won't be getting any more Pumpkinhead films. These are the only two I like out of the franchise. After that, to me, it just went downhill. Thought I don't know, just be getting just getting these first two films. I won't be buying any more Pumpkinhead movies. But this is Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. Next up was A Blind Buy, and this is put out by Vinegar Syndrome, and that is Madman. Great film, man. Kind of reminded me of Hatchet at times. I could be wrong, but I think they kind of got the idea of Hatchet from this movie. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I enjoyed this film. There was a few kills in the movie. Pretty cool film though. That girl from Dawn of the Dead comes out. The original film. That girl that played Fly Girl. I don't know the actress's name, but this is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. It comes with uh, a 90-minute documentary, 30 years of Madman. I have not checked out any of the special features, but this is a good movie, man. Highly recommend it. Next up, this is Scorpion releasing. I didn't. This one wasn't too good, but I got it for dirt cheap for my cousin, and that is To All a Good Night. I would I would describe this as a Christmas themed slasher film. There's some pretty good kills in it. There's lots of nudity, but I don't know. I thought it could have been better. But this is To All a Good Night. Next up, I got the Synapse release of Demons 2, great Italian horror film. Love the cover art. It's just basically a Blu-ray transfer of the film. As you all know, all the special features are on the steel books. One day I'll get a hold of them. I believe they're not out of print. I thought they were, but I guess they're not. But I love the cover art for this. I had Demons 1, so I had to get Demons 2 on Blu-ray. So yeah, this is Demons 2, put out by Synapse. Got another Scream Factory title. This one's directed by George A. Romero, and that's Monkeyshines. Wasn't as good as I remembered it to be, which was kind of a disappointment. Basically, the big payoff is in the ending of the film, but that's all right. This is Monkeyshines. Next up, basically these are just from Best Buy and Barnes and Noble. First up, I got Poltergeist 2. This is the single disc edition. Before I left Wisconsin, they actually had part 2 and 3 on the disc, but I just wanted to get them separately, so I just waited till I came across them. So I got Poltergeist 2. I still need to get Poltergeist 3 and Poltergeist, the first Poltergeist. I have all three on DVD, but I wouldn't mind upgrading all three films on Blu-ray, even if it's just, this to transfer the film. And I like this alternate cover art for it, man. I always thought Henry Kane was a crazy, creepy old bastard in this movie. But yeah, this is Poltergeist 2. Next up was a blind buy. Heard on Facebook a while back from Danny. He told me that he posted in the group that there was a sale going on at Barnes and Noble, and I went over there and I picked up the Vampire Lovers. It was a blind buy, um, classic vampire flick, little erotic vampire movie. It stars Peter Cushing. I won't. I'm not gonna lie. When I first looked at this, I thought it was just gonna be a boring film, but it turned out to be pretty good. After watching this movie, now I want to get all the Hammer movies now. Yeah, this is pretty good. Decent movie, man. Classic vampire flick. This is the Vampire Lovers. That was at Barnes and Noble. I got this one at Barnes and Noble. That is The Evil Dead 2, the 25th anniversary edition. Basically got it for the upgrade and the special features. Um, I'll probably get I know Army of Darkness is gonna get a Scream Factory release. I'm probably will get that. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is The Evil Dead 2. Next up was another pretty good found footage film. That is The House is October Built. Basically about a group of friends traveling through Texas trying to find the most extreme haunt days leading up to Halloween night, and they end up going to Louisiana as well. Pretty good film, pretty good haunted house flick. Thought it was pretty cool, man. This is another definite watch on Halloween. I'm thinking I'm gonna watch The House is October Built, Madman, and I don't know. I haven't decided on the other movie yet. I usually try to watch three movies on Halloween night, three good horror films. But this is The House is October Built. Next up was another recommendation from a YouTuber, DJ Boy 3275, aka Danny. He recommended this movie a while back. By the time I found out about it from him, they didn't have it no more at Walmart, and that is Afflicted. Great found footage horror film, great vampire movie. Thought the vampire in this film looked like Nosferatu. That's another movie I still need to see and buy. But yeah, it's a pretty good flick, man. I enjoyed it. That's Afflicted. Check it out on Netflix, man. It might still be on there. It's at Best Buy too. Still, it was on sale recently. These last films was a pretty good bargain buy for me. I got them for dirt cheap, and I got them for a good price, man. I got Wrong Turn 1 through 5 for half off. I got like 50% off somehow. It was on sale for 20. I signed up for the Best Buy rewards card, but I don't know what happened with that. But I ended up getting this for 10.50. It's all five Wrong Turn movies. I only remember the first two films. But yeah, I thought it was a good deal. And I also got this from my cousin. I got this one from my cousin for dirt cheap. That's Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort. But in total, I paid probably around 16 or 17 bucks for the entire Wrong Turn franchise. This usually goes for 35 and this usually goes for 20. So it was a hell of a deal, man. That's going to be it for my horror haul. I usually don't like doing these long videos, but I had let a lot of stuff accumulate. So shout out to everybody. Subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.